This is student U25374402 Arava U Mirage for the OPV assignment.
My student number is U25126068. My name is Kayele Tutros, and this is me for the OPV assignment. Welcome. Today we're diving into two fundamental theories of personality development. While they both focus on conflict, they emphasize very important aspects of the journey from infancy to adulthood.
Indeed, we start with Sigmund Freud. His psychoanthropic theory was the first psychodynamic theory. Freud argued that development is largely determined by how we manage the inconspicuous conflicts we face at various ages. He proposed a series of psychosexual stages moving in a fixed sequence determined by mutation.
And this is where the paths diverge. While Erik Erikson was a student of Freud, he embraced the idea of unconscious conflict, but shifted the focus. Erikson emphasized the psychological and social aspects of conflict rather than the biological and sexual aspects that Freud highlighted.
That biological state focused is keys to Freud's model. In each of the psychosexual stages, the focus is on different parts of the body. The egonosis zone, dominated by sexual instincts. If a child receives either too much or too little gratification of these urges, problems may result, leading to what Freud called fixation. This means that development is essential to arrest at that age, preventing the child from moving forward.
Let's look at how that plays out. Arav, could you walk us through a couple of Freud's early stages?
Oral stage, from birth to 1 year, centers sexual energies on the mouth. Babies get oral gratification through things like sucking. If these oral needs aren't met appropriately, an individual might develop habits later on in life, such as overeating or oversmoking. Then comes the anal stage, 1 to 3 years, where sexual energy focuses on the anal area, especially controlling elimination of functions. Toilet training is a major issue here, and parental demands regarding control can lead to conflicts that manifest as extreme orderliness or conversely messiness later on.
Fascinating how the foundation is set so early. Now, Erikson took a different approach. His theory consists of a sequence of 8 developmental stages, spanning from birth right through to late adulthood.
And what is the mechanism that drives Erikson's development across the stage?
It's the psychosocial crisis. During each stage, the individual faces a crisis that arises from a conflict between their own psychological needs and the conflicting needs of society. Success in resolving this crisis results in a healthy personality and acquisition of a basic virtue. These virtues are characteristic strengths that help the ego resolve subsequent crises.
Could you give us an example of how these psychosocial crisis plays out?
The first crisis is basic trust versus mistrust, occurring from birth to the first year of your life. The challenge for an infant is to develop a sense that the world is a good and safe place. They achieve this when their care is consistent and reliable. If the care is unreliable, they might develop mistrust. Success in this stage leads to the basic virtue of hope. The infant can then hope that the support will be provided when a crisis arises. At ages 1 to 3, our psychological stage is anatomy versus shame and doubt. Our challenge is to realize that one is an independent person who can make decisions, and our virtue is willpower. Then we have initiative versus guilt at ages 3 to 6, and this is our challenge to develop a willingness to try new things and handle failure. Our virtue becomes purpose. When we reach ages 6 years old to adolescence, we're faced with industry versus inferiority. This is our challenge to learn basic skills and work with others. Our virtue becomes competency.
So while Freud's stages are focused on specifically body zones and fixations, Erikson's stages are named after challenges that individuals face at that age.
Exactly, and the challenges are wide-ranging. For instance, in adolescence, the challenge is identity versus identity confusion. developing a lasting, integrated sense of self. Successfully navigating that crisis yields the virtue of reliability. Later in life, middle adulthood faces generative versus stagnation, where the goal is to contribute to the younger people, perhaps through a child rearing or community work, leading to the virtue of care. In our young adulthood, we struggle with intimacy versus isolation. This challenge is to commit to another in a loving relationship. Our virtue becomes love.
Ultimately, Fuchs saw successful development by adolescents as leading to mature sexuality, marriage, and the birth of children.
Dickinson's final stage, integrity versus despair, in late adulthood aims for the individual to view their life as satisfactory and worth living, resulting in the virtue of wisdom. Both theories provide crucial, though different frameworks for understanding human development.